Hello dear student, welcome back here with me again, and today we are going to discussing about the chapter number 2. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together, and this is written by Alan Aist and Gordon Cook. The Gordon Cook was a Canadian writer, and actually most appropriate is that he was the player, he was a sailor, he was a two-time Olympian and sailed and played for the Canadian Royal Yacht Club. He had some interest in writing in short stories. So here he in this story and in this lesson introduced some autobiographical elements about his own life. Here as a author, because this is the first narrator, author himself here narrate this story about his own life, and he said that how fond of I was for the sailing and for doing the voyaging in the ocean. And for the last 16 year he was spending his all leisure time to owning his seafaring skill actually is the sharpening his skills, adroitness in the British water, because he is dreaming of duplicating and repeating around the world by doing voyage the same way as Captain James Cook had made 200 years earlier. Here he was not alone. His family, the Mary, Sue, Jonathan also was along with him. And for this purpose, he had made his own wave boat, which named Wave Walker, and it was about 23 meters in length and 30 ton in weight. It was very professionally built up and spent months in fitting out it and testing it in the roughest weather as he could find. So the first thing that we will see here, how he planned his journey. Firstly, he planned his journey for 3 years, in which he planned to cross at least 1,05,000 kilometers, which they presently passed from the west coast of Africa to Cape Town. The first leg of their journey they very comfortably and very pleasantly passed, and afterward they have to move forward for the next 1,50,000 kilometers toward the Australia. And when they have to cross that ocean, that was the South Indian Oceans, which is considered the roughest and known for their the strong gales and strong storms. So to help in tackling the roughest weather of that oceans, they hired 2 crewmen, that was Larry and Hobbs, one from America and other from Switzerland. And only 2 days had passed, and after 2 days, from the Cape Town, there when they started their journey from the Cape Towns, they faced so drastic, so strong gales, and that blew for some weeks continuously. Their situation was deteriorating, and they were in a dire situation. They were in the crucial, in the junctures. But author said, I don't have any problem from the strong gales, but I have great problem with the size of that, the size of the wave was too large. So he said that alarming size of the wave bothered me so much. Otherwise, I don't have the problem with this. Till 25th December, their situation was again desperate, and the weather conditions were deteriorating. It was so unpleasant, it was atrocious. Still they managed to pass their holiday very comfortably with the Christmas tree, and with that they passed their holiday very pleasantly. And they had expected that the new day will make a good change in the weathers. Yes, it changed, but for worst. It was something so far that they were really facing the direst. They were under threat of their life. The wave was in such size, almost about 50 to 50 plus the feet high. Until January 2nd, the size of the wave that was continuously बड़े से बड़ा होते जा रहा था. And their situation again was very desperate, because they were heading with the small jeep, and they were in the sea. They were running in the speed of this ship, and the boat was just 40 knots a meter, 1 meter. They was जिसको बोलते हैं ना कि समुद्री चाल, एक मीटर वो 8 समुद्री मील की दूरी से गति पार कर रहे थे. So to slow down the boat, they dropped the jeep, storm jeep, because that was not possible them to going like that they were going. So afterward they lashed that I must say, because every material they used to bind the stern is the back portion of the boat. They bind and they tied with everything with that, with heavy mooring ropes. जो भारी जो रस्सियां उनके पास थी, they tied them with the stern, and afterward they tied double lashed. Everything they tied double और उन रस्सियों से उसको वो बांध लेते हैं, so that they can protect themselves and from the boat, from these the big and gigantic the waves, because the size of the wave that was not so short in height. That was almost 45 to 50 and more than 50 feet high. Tall. It was so tall. And sometime it seems that all the sea is rolling on toward us. Then they put on their oil skins. What is oil skin? And these are the kind of the clothes which they put on. It is sticky, so that the water let not come in. It prevent the water to come in. And other lifeline jackets, and then stay there and was waiting for the oncoming waves. Situation was not good. The impending indication of the impending disaster they sensed at 6 p.m. with ominous silence. Ominous silence is a kind of silence when you must have heard about this कि कभी-कभी किसी गलत काम के होने से पहले की जो चुप्पी होती है, खामोशी होती है. The खामोशी here means the silence here means the signal of some bad thing. कुछ ऐसा होने वाला था. And very soon the winds dropped and the sky grew darker immediately afterward. And authors see that there is some large cloud building after their boat, but he realized that was not a cloud. Actually, it was the big and the giant wave. It was so tall, it was so high that he had never seen in his life, and it was perfectly vertical. It was just the vertical 90 degree के angle में वो खड़ी थी मानो, and it seems that आदमी may ride over it, and it was ready to strike with the boat, and in the meantime explosion, violent and tremendous explosion shook the deck, and because of this, torrent of white and green water come into that boat. Author was smashing somewhere. He smashed on the wheel. He was flying overboard, and at then this was the time when he had admitted that my life is now मेरा जो chapter है is likely to finish. He had admitted his approaching death. He was underwater. He was feeling conscious less. He was quite peaceful, and suddenly he pop out of the water. Something इसको जैसे throw कर दिया हो बाहर से. He saw that there is water and the wave walker is almost capsizing, and some oncoming wave hurled them upright and make in its level.